It's just fantastic.
Captain's Log, subdate 200911.6. Ensign Bork has been nominated, mysteriously, for the next away mission into what looks like an underwater volcano in the middle of Cacopolis Beta. I get this feeling he's going to come back with not only a tan, but legs that resemble Pritt sticks. I'm okay with this. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter. If you haven't noticed, yes, my voice is still a little bit off. That was weird. Anyway, we have a number of subjects I'd like to go through. Before we start, I'm going to be hosting a political recap stream on the Moisky Live channel with Trups LP. If you are at all interested in listening to myself and Trups do a roundup of the weekly political news in the UK and US, please consider swinging by. Link to the Moisky Live channel in the description down below. So to start, Judge Dredd was trending. I got really excited. As many know, Dredd, the Carl Urban version, is one of my favourite movies of all time. I modelled my avatar explicitly into a moist uniform, which, by the way, cost a lot of money. I even have a helmet, badge. I print badges for patrons with moist on, and sell on Etsy, link below. Well, it turns out we weren't getting what we wanted. I wanted a sequel, but no, people were considering recasting him with Brolin, aka Thanos. My answer to that is no. Urban did a fantastic job in the first movie, and when they announced Mega City 1 for Netflix before they nixed that to something else, we were going to get Urban in that too. I still think a Dredd sequel will be a great idea, and I hope we are able to get it before Urban is too old. Moving from one trending subject to another, we're going to go to a Nebraska man called Anders Christensen. He went to the city council and asked that restaurants remove the term boneless chicken wings from their menus. And this is why.
Lincoln has the opportunity to be a social leader in this country. We have been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control that our children are throwing around names and words without even understanding their true meaning and treating things as though they're normal. I go into nice family restaurants and I see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine. I'm talking about boneless chicken wings.
Some could argue he is being a bit of a Karen here. I tend to disagree. Wings suck in the first place. I'm not a huge fan of them. There's not much on them. It seems pointless. Yes, in this instance, I'm a breast man. But also, by definition, he's actually correct. You can argue this one all you like, but boneless chicken wings are just tendies. This is an important issue, everyone, and it takes our attention off COVID-19. Handily. Next, we go to @nodank_. If you are white and not ashamed, you are a racist. No one should be ashamed of the colour of their skin. If they are not ashamed of the colour of their skin, something they cannot fundamentally change, unless they use bleach, or they do the Martina Big thing of melanin injections and tanning like a motherfucker, you can't change your race. Legitimately, you cannot change it. There are some conditions, yes, vitiligo is the obvious one, but ultimately you still can't change it. And even with the understanding of what you're trying to say, that white people should be ashamed of their past, I, as a blue man, as you can clearly tell here, don't really care. I have a population of 1. I am the most oppressed being on your planet, by definition. Where's my representation? Don't you dare say the Blue Man Group. Let's move on from this. T-Clips tweeted out this video. This video is a short clip from Tanamojo. Tanamojo is the bestest YouTuber of 2019, where she made bugger all videos, got bugger all views, but she's the top dog. Okay. I'm somewhat surprised they gave it to Tanamojo and not T-Series, or the WWE. Any excuse not to give it to PewDiePie. Where she says the following.
As a white person, if a person of color ever accuses you of microaggression, the right thing to do is apologize, because who am I to decide if I made that person feel that way? The fact that I ever thought I could decide that is fucking wrong.
If somebody says or accuses you of a microaggression, the right thing to do is not to apologize. The right thing to do, if you know the person, is to have a discussion. If it's some random person in the street, put your earphones back on or your AirPods and just walk away, because chances are if someone's going to accuse you of something not knowing you, then it is right to surmise they are not there to have a civil discussion, which is a big problem with a lot of people. I also don't like this mentality of listen and believe. It didn't work out so well for Me Too. It did not work out so well for rape culture. It, in fact, did more damage to many lives than it protected. This idea that the court of public opinion should determine such things. And microaggression, oh boy. You know what? I'm going to avoid being dragged into that one because I know damn well what I'm going to say next. Karen. Next we go to Spineless Foreskin, at Discord Spies David the Doomer Shirat. He's moved on. I mentioned him in last week's exhibition of stupid people. If that video gets 1,000 likes, I'll do an entire timeline video on him. He does on occasion, though, put out something that actually is quite right. I'm not saying this to put him on some kind of vaunted pedestal, but he does catch people out well, and people seem to feed him a lot of information from other users of Discord. Take, for example, Vaush, Cuck. Cuck here is arguing about the age of consent. Oh dear, how socialism will totally fix the age of consent. To prove the point that this is not doctored, David Shirat was also granted additional screenshots, all of which are incredibly incriminating and very damning for Vaush, Cuck. You know, I don't care what your name is, actually. I can't pronounce it, I don't care enough. You're an idiot socialist who tries to debate people over ideas, and fundamentally you try and bully them. Very subtly, I might add, for the most part, but anyone with an IQ over 1 can see it. So in this context of what David Shirat has done, by providing all the receipts, you have to give him credit. You may not like what he's done in the past, but this shines a very interesting light on somebody I had thought was in a similar wing of politics to that of Spino. Clearly I'm wrong. Now we're going to move on to Random Block of the Week, but not me. No, Ranting Monkey, my dear friend, blocked by Developing Thoughts. Now, I didn't know why this was funny at first, so I bothered to look her up. Turns out I'm not blocked. And I realised why. Because they've been blocked by James Woods, and they've been flexing about others getting blocked by James Woods as well. You do understand what hypocrisy is, don't you? Next, we move on to journalist Katie, or at Unbiased Katie. I stole a packaged ham from the store today and gave it a proper burial. Now the animal's soul can finally be at peace. Rest in peace, little buddy. Tribute video of burial to follow. #vegan.
In the arms of an angel.
Interesting thing here is what you've done. What you've done is plant meat that will rot and poison the earth. It wasn't even a minute ago where I said anyone with an IQ over 1. Well, we're going to copy and paste that here because anyone with an IQ over 1 knows this. Add to this that it is also likely it will be dug up by a stray animal, a fox perhaps, a bear, a squirrel who's high on protein. They'll dig it up and get food poisoning from that. Congratulations, you absolute melt. There are reasons we bury flesh 6 feet under. To protect the earth, but also to protect the animals that might try and consume it. Ah, you are div. The final thing that I'd like to showcase today comes courtesy of actually one of my patrons. He noticed on Twitter, #RestInPeace Jeremy Clarkson, and I thought, like many thought, that he might be gone. No, but boy oh boy did the memes spill. It was glorious. It was delicious. Yes, I tell you what, one of the advantages of having a sore throat I can go deeper. I like that. I do. It won't last. Next week I'll probably sound like I've been sucking on helium. Yay. Anyway, we're done. As with everything we cover on this channel, I'd love to know what you think is the stupidest thing of the week from Twitter. So by all means, please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you tonight for the political recap stream with Trups LP, I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and Irate Alex is a white man.